There was a big black truck rolling back and forth on a cliff.
I was riding in the passenger seat, and we're riding down the main street in my neighborhood.
And the volcano erupted and flooded the basement of our house.
He wasn't actually using plates. He was taking his head and like dipping it in the spaghetti and throwing it on the plate.
And all these cops were chasing us because I wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
And this woman walked back and forth, and she was just kind of like, pacing around.
And then I'd look back and she'd be gone. And there'd be nobody driving the car. And her door would be flopping open.
I dove in and saved my family, but then I ended up getting really sick and had to go to the hospital.
When I started to walk in, they told me if I wanted to stay in, then I was gonna have to wear a hat. So they passed off a hat and I put the hat on.
My friend had to steal a Volkswagen bus, and I crawled on top of the bus and hung onto the bus with my fat.
Then I woke up.
I woke up.
That's when I woke up.
Dreams are a manifestation of our unconscious that arises when we sleep, when the brain waves change. We have access to different memories, different ideas, and dreams are the association of those ideas around certain tensions, certain things that require balancing or support in our conscious lives tend to come up in the more relaxed states that we get into in sleep.
First of all, I think a lot of the content of dreams comes from daily experiences, from events over the past few days, and the feelings that go along with them. So a lot of the material of dreams can be detected in daily life. Now, there are also other dreams, and in these dreams, they tend to come, in my view, from a deeper part of our awareness, from unconscious sources.
The content is the content in the dreamer's mind, in the dreamer's whole organism, not just their brain, but in the whole organism. And our organism has had thousands, millions of experiences that are not conscious.
There are a number of brain structures that are involved in dreaming, and a lot of it comes from the brainstem and an area of the brainstem called the pons. And there's a system that runs all the way from the lower part of the brain up through the midbrain called the ARAS, the Ascending Reticular Activating System. And that deals with arousal and awareness and awakeness. And so that part of our brain is activated when we're awake and when we're sleeping, and also when we're dreaming.
The sleep studies show that it takes about an hour and a half to begin REMing, and it's during REM sleep that we dream. So according to the dream studies, everybody dreams every night if they get at least an hour and a half or more of sleep.
The most vivid dreams I do have are about tornadoes. It's kind of a recurring dream. I remember the first one I had, I think, was when I was 6 or 7, back when I lived in Colorado. I think it's just because I was always kind of worried about tornadoes coming, just because we lived in Colorado, and I would hear it on the news, and my parents would talk about it and stuff.
My experience with recurring dreams is that there's an unresolved tension that requires attention. That lack of resolution in conscious life means that the dream just keeps coming up because it is important to pay attention to it.
Every emotion you have will come out in some way, and those you can't express, through words or action, they can come out through dreams.
They just are like a window into yourself.
They're inescapable. The question is whether you want to pay attention to them or not. My experience is if you pay attention, you are rewarded by understanding yourself in sometimes surprising, very different ways. So I encourage people to write their dreams and to pay attention to them. Is that necessary? No. Is it helpful? Yeah, think so.